Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach Adkins, and in this video, we're going to talk about bands using ClickTrack. Let's get into it. So, Ola England just had an interview with John Petrucci and Mike Portnoy. It was a great interview. Ola asks a lot of really good questions, and of course, the dudes in Dream Theater are super cool. They're pretty open about most things, so it was a really intriguing interview. The one thing that was kind of strange, there was kind of a weird vibe, was during the section, and I'll play it here, where Ola asks them about click tracks, if they're going to use click tracks or if they're going to do backing tracks and stuff like that. And I just thought it was kind of interesting because there's like this weird stigma with using backtracks or click tracks. People are like, well, who cares? And then there's other people that are like, well, it's not authentic and it's not live and whatever. For me, I just feel like, why would anybody care, and why is it weird, and why do we have to explain every little piece of this, what goes on behind the scenes? The show kicks ass, so if you have to use a click track for certain things, go for it. If you don't, then don't. What I want to do is I want to jump into the video here, watch it, kind of talk a little bit about each section as it goes.
Do you play with a click live, or do you keep it completely natural and live vibe?
With me back.
So the one thing that I noticed right away is John Petrucci, when that question is asked, you can see that Portnoy's like, absolutely not. Like, he shakes his head instantly, but Petrucci's kind of like looks over at Portnoy just a little bit, like right when he says it, almost like he's uncomfortable to answer it.
With a click live, or do you keep it completely natural and live vibe?
With me back.
Yeah, he's just like, I know why, because I've heard a lot of people will go in and be like, oh, these guys aren't really playing their stuff because it's all backtracks, or playing to a click track, so it's not as authentic as it could be. But I just don't believe in that. I think that whatever gets the song performed is fine, whether you use a click or not. Because I know that Mangini did clicks a lot. Portnoy's kind of like an anti-click kind of person. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do, because only 7% of people that are watching my videos are subscribed. Just go ahead and click it real quick. It takes 2 seconds and it's free and it helps me out. Please, thank you very much. Okay, bye. Get back to the video.
Back in the band, it was a discussion we had very early on, because I don't know if I'm giving anything away here, but
it's fine.
with Mike Mangini, they were playing with clicks and to tracks and stuff like that. Whatever, I can't speak for them.
That's understandable.
But
I mean, you come into a band and you need to.
Isn't that just, it's just weird? Like the whole question, like they're so comfortable with all these other questions, but this one just gets kind of weird. I'm not sure why. Like, he's like, well, I hope I'm not giving something away. What's up with that? I don't understand.
You learn a lot of songs. I mean, obviously, you need to have a steady ground somewhere. So, in that sense.
Well, I mean, we had our concept at the time when Mike was not in the band, was that we were going to kind of do this show presentation that was going to be very dramatically like exact. So everything
with lights and
and in fact, we took that to the extreme on the Astonishing tour, where that whole it was so orchestrally the orchestra and choir and all, it was such a big part of it that we didn't have an orchestra with us, so that was playing back. And the movie was such a big part of it. It's like, there's no way we can do this if we're not playing to a click and everything is controlled. Now, fast forward with Mike back.
So, okay, that's an interesting point. Like, when is a click important? When is a click not important? And he's saying right here, like, okay, well, I have this entire album, The Astonishing, that is in and of itself a movie, essentially, that they wrote. And there's lights that are triggered at the right time. There's all these things that are happening all as the song is happening. His face is kind of like, hey, well, we had to because, please don't yell at me. Maybe a song like Under a Glass Moon, where you've played it a billion times, you don't need a click anymore. That's fine. If you're doing an entire album, like, maybe if you have to have it chunked out a little bit, why is it such a big deal? In my System of a Down tribute band that I'm in, we play all of the System of a Down songs that people like, and then we usually do Toxicity, the entire album from start to finish. I actually had somebody, I don't remember who it was, but we were talking about click tracks and stuff, and I said, yeah, some songs we do clicks, some we don't. He kind of just looked at me, and he was like, I don't understand. What do you mean you don't use clicks, but then sometimes you do? And I was like, I mean, one song we might use clicks, the next song we just play as open and free as possible. And he's just like, That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Most bands will just have it either all click or no click. To me, I'm like, take a song, I know I'm getting off the topic here with Dream Theater, but if you're a System of a Down fan, some of their songs are weird, man. Putting them to a click is a lot more simplistic to make sure that you're hitting those cues at the right time. A song, for example, is Question. It's got that weird acoustic guitar at the beginning, and then the song hits off in 5/4 time, and then the verse is in 9/8 time, and then it switches to like 6/8 time, and then back to 5/4. There's all these little changes, and not only that, but in the middle of the song, it actually increases tempo too to a certain amount. If it's way too fast, we're not going to be able to sing and play that song, add it, and actually play it well. But then a song like Sugar, which is just, all 4/4 heavy, we don't play that to a click. Or BYOB, we don't play that to a click. We just kind of switch back and forth, and I guess that's weird. I didn't realize it was weird. I just went, hey, this song we're playing a click, this song we're not. Shout out to my drummer, Geddy Lee, being a badass and being able to do pretty much anything we need him to do all the time. It's just weird that this is even a question or that it even has to be explained, with the Dream Theater guy. I don't know. Let's keep listening.
That's not something, it's that interests you at all. And it's great as well. And in some ways, it brings all of us back to the way we used to do things, and that the ebb and flow. I will say about Mike, one of the things that makes him such a great drummer is he instinctually knows when to pull and push apart, and you can feel that during the show, and I think that's probably a difference that's palpable to fans when you see kind of this breathing and this back and forth. In order to do that, you can't play to a click.
No.
So that's a good point too, is I mentioned with the other band, is sometimes you just want to frickin' go for it. Jam the song. No big deal. Have fun, and maybe like you get excited on one part so you push it faster. You can pull back on another. Or even if you mess up, that is one downside to having a click, is like if you mess up, you get off track, crap, now all the lights are going to be off. Then again, the click can sometimes bring everybody back together. So there's kind of this, click or no click kind of thing. It's very strange.
The live show, and the set list was one question I had. Can I do that again? Can I have that rolled back?
I was like, please.
Yeah.
We were at the dinner one night, and I handed him a plate, and I was like, I'm putting the plate back.
Take it off my
plate. I was like, no, I don't want to do. So yeah.
But the other issue was the click.
Yeah.
And also
I will say Portnoy knows how to write a freaking killer set list. I've watched their set list on YouTube, and it's killer.
Singing, like I said to these guys, okay, do you want me singing again? Because I do a lot of singing live. Is that okay? And they were like, yes, that's part of the sound. We want that back. And then the other thing that was concerning to me was to click or not to click. And I told the guys, look, I'm not comfortable playing with the click live. I would much rather have the human element. For me, I feed off of the energy of the audience. I don't know if it's just because I'm a drummer or it's just my personality, but I am spending the whole show looking at the audience and feeling the interaction and pushing and pulling and giving and taking. And sometimes, there's even some moments in the show where we stretch a little, and if you're on tracks and if you're on a click, you can't really
do that.
You can't like stray from the path. No. And to me, I like having that human element. I like having that things could change from night to night and go different places. Yep. So
that's a good point too. I do enjoy that where if you set a click, it is what it is, right? You either have what you have or you can stray and do some stuff. But again, I'm gonna have to, I don't want to say disagree with Mike, because this is just his personality and the way that he sees it, but like clicks aren't a bad thing. Sometimes playing something exact can make it even better, because you're all just in it together and you're just following this one thing. And in some cases, we've actually done it where we have a click ready to go, but we play most of the songs without a click. Geddy will trigger it on the laptop or whatever, and then that will start us back up onto a click together, and then he'll turn the click off, maybe for like one little part or whatever. I think that a lot of old school guys are like, clicks are evil. The new school guys are like, no, if I don't have a click, I can't play to the song. And of course, Dream Theater is a perfect band for this discussion because they're so froggy and out of left field. They've got hundreds of time signature changes in one song, and then the next song might just all be in 4/4, and then they got all these changes and ebbs and flows. And I can imagine that's difficult, even just to sit and track that out and put a click to it. Oh my God, I would want to die. That's too much. It's too much work.
Luckily, the guys were totally cool with it, and that was a relief for me. So yeah, here we are. It's back to the way it always was. You know?
That's cool. I mean, then it's truly live. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we already have the album. The album is the tempo and all.
Right,
you want to feel alive when you play live.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy. Also, when it's this type of crazy, technical music, it's nice to hear.
And it's also, not only the band, but all of our fans are so excited to have Mike back in the band. So it's like we wanted to embrace what he's all about, not like, no, man, you got to do this. No, it's like, let's do all the stuff, even though we're not doing it now. Eventually, the changing set list or whatever it might involve, all the stuff that Mike used to do. Bring it back,
That's awesome.
I am glad that they're letting Mike be back, but this conversation's weird. It's like when your parents got divorced and now they're like dating each other again, and it's kind of this weird time where they have to figure each other out a little bit again.
Little trick that I think our fans know it, but we do have a system. In lieu of a ClickTrack, we do have a system where I have electronic pads that that only we can hear, only us on stage and our light man and our sound, our front of house guy, they can hear. So in between songs, when we're sitting in a blackout, to count a song in, I use the or if there's an extended period where there's no drums, I'll count it out for the guys.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a man-made ClickTrack. I'm actually manually doing it myself, but at least it's holding everybody together.
Yeah.
I love that. That's pretty cool. And so it's like a talkback mic, but with a drum pad. That's kind of cool. I gotta call Getty. Jumping back to System of a Down for a minute. We'll do a prison song. And that has like those hard enters, where it's like dun, 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 right? That kind of stuff. We just kind of have to look at it, and then he'll kind of, and we might actually go get it ourselves one of those little electric pads so he can count us all in. The problem is that I wear an in-ear and Getty wears an in-ear, but our singer and our bass player do not. And in my solo band, which is more kind of along the lines of Dream Theater and stuff like that, where it's like really heavy, a lot of time signature changes and a lot of really heavy riffs and stuff. Only Getty and I wear clicks again, and the other two don't. So if not everybody wants to wear clicks, I mean in-ears. If not everybody's wearing in-ears, then how are you going to know? I'm really curious what other bands do. Like, do you guys play some songs to a click and then jump off of the click, or is it all or nothing? Or do you have this kind of talkback thing where you can hit a drum pad? I'm really curious, like, what other bands do, because I think we could all learn from each other on how to approach this situation and not be like snobby about it. It actually is kind of surprising that Dream Theater doesn't play to a click all the time, just with how technical it is. But you write the stuff and you get so comfortable with it, it kind of works out. What do you guys think? What does your band do? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to kind of go back and forth about it, because I want to see what people think one way or the other. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video.